Hello, and welcome back to Always On Brand, where we take e-commerce and we simplify it. I am your co-host, Summer Jubileer, along with Scott Oshman.
Oh, hi, Summer. It's nice to be out in the wild.
It is. We are here live at eTail West in beautiful Palm Springs. And we have some fantastic guests with us today.
Do we?
It's a really good question. It's worth...
I was going to say friend of the show, but I don't know if I can say that
Well,
now.
last time that Jason Boyce, founder, CEO, Avenue7 Media, ladies and gentlemen, last time we were not a top 5 podcast at that time. We were rising in the ranks. Don't get me wrong.
Is that why he came back?
We finally pulled him in as a top 5 retail podcast. Also joined the program out of screen on the YouTube, which is, I am too. There he is, Brent Peterson, host of Talk Commerce.
Yeah, I'm a bottom 5 commerce podcast.
But you're huge in Ukraine.
Very big in Ukraine.
And
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan. Jason, Summer has excellent questions for you because we talk a lot of Amazon, we talk a lot of retail, we talk a lot of advertising, we talk a lot of all kinds of stuff. But you are digging in there at Av7 on the Walmart.
The Walmart, yes.
So what's going on at Walmart? What do brands need to pay attention to?
So if we start at the 30,000-foot view with Walmart, there's some very interesting things that I've learned over the last few years as we're now helping our brands. In some cases, they were .com and Amazon only, and we're migrating them and not migrating them. They're staying on Amazon. They're not leaving Amazon.
Yeah.
They're launching on Walmart. A couple of interesting things about Walmart, some key differentiators. Number one, I think Walmart is better at retail than Amazon.
Of course, yes.
I mean, they are the masters of retail. They understand things like promotional calendars. They understand events. They understand
everyday low price.
They understand everyday. Oh, I mean, look, Amazon knows that too, but they get it. They understand categories. They know the seasonality. Yeah. Amazon really is a tech company, right? They're really a tech platform company.
Yeah.
And so that's very interesting to me. We learn a lot from Walmart in terms of how they look at their promotional calendars and schedules and that sort of thing. That's number one. Number two, I think Walmart, one of the big legs to the stool that makes Amazon great is their logistics network. It's bar none. It's the best final mile. They've kicked UPS and FedEx's ass all over the place. They're better than everyone.
Yeah. If you live in the connected 48 states.
If you live in, not Hawaii or Ukraine.
Alaska.
Ukraine. Yeah. And so I think, in my opinion, that is a huge moat for anyone to be able to achieve and getting market share from Amazon is that logistics network. And I think Walmart is the only one that's out there who can challenge that logistics prowess.
Don't disagree
at all. I mean, I think they're within 10 miles of every American.
Yeah, and they have to make a switch though to how to ship from retail.
That's right. Right. And I think they're making those shifts and investments now. From Walmart's perspective, this is like a gold mine for them.
We're making fun of Brent and his ability to lay down the
I
microphone.
I pointed to the mic because he was talking like this. I was like, get back. You're doing great.
So yes, you're right. So
it's
they know
it's the hang loose sign.
They know retail and they know logistics.
They do.
Got it. I'm good. I'm not. I love disagreeing with Jason over the years just because it's fun, and I agree with him 1,000%.
I'm naive. I do not shop at Walmart. I do not buy anything. I don't have it delivered. What is their current delivery promise?
I mean,
do they not have a promise?
They do if you're Walmart Plus. It's very interesting. It's like a Prime Lite.
Okay.
You get free Paramount streaming service if you have it. You get free home delivery if you have it. You get a lot of other services. I don't have the list in front of me, but
they're building up their services.
Growing.
Yeah, it sounds like
it's a growing
an actual competitor to Prime.
It really is. Yeah, it really is.
And so what's their shipping window?
I mean, when I order from them, and I was never a Walmart customer before until we started offering the services, and I do it so that I can experience it. It's 2 days or less.
Yeah, it's good.
It is fast.
Sometimes it's same day, and I live in Portland proper in the city. Mm-hmm. There are no Walmarts inside the city limits, and so they have to come from
they don't have city Walmarts like they have city Targets.
They don't. Yeah, they don't. And we had a city Target and shut them down because Portland's kind of a mess. But that's another
podcast.
That's a political podcast. Yeah,
it's still. I love the Rose City. Don't. I love that city.
I do too.
Great city.
Forever a Trailblazers fan.
Oh, are you? Okay, great. I'm a Laker fan. We'll take this offline.
Oh, God.
I'm a Laker fan too.
Are you?
Liquor?
I know about
liquor, yeah.
Brent's like, let me get in on this.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I agree. They're logistically, their .com is fantastic, and they're killing the game on grocery. Absolutely,
yes.
They own grocery.
They
do
grocery
Yeah.
delivery. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so look, I think any brand is smart to consider diversifying their sales channels.
Yes.
Amazon is the 8 billion pound gorilla. We all know that. You've got to be there. It's table stakes. It's important to be there in the best way possible to protect and defend your brand and to grow. But Walmart is a very nice, diversified sales channel. If you're a brand, you should be there. It's important from our perspective. And when we talk to brands, we tell them you need to get there because their catalog is a little bit of a mess about defending brands. They're building their tech to defend brands. And so if you're not there, somebody's already reselling your stuff there.
Right.
So get there, clean up your channel, own the space, make sure that you're maintaining your brand integrity by having good listings there. If you are not there, somebody else is selling your stuff.
Is the time
almost 9 times out of 10?
Is the time commitment similar to what it is for Amazon in
It
terms
is.
of managing the program?
It is, Summer. It's a great question. And that's part of the downside is you need to spend as much time, and even managing advertising, because their system is not yet as sophisticated as Amazon's. It takes a lot more work and manual labor unless you're using a really good tech partner to manage PPC ads.
Yeah.
Just wash your hands. You're gonna spill your coffee. I'm very nervous about the equipment. You're a hand talker, and I love that so much.
My mom's half Italian. I'm quarter Italian. I can't help myself.
I know. I just want to make sure.
I just didn't get the olive skin. That's the only.
But yeah, back to the time suck of Walmart.
Yeah, so it's there. It's legitimate. You can't just make it somebody's part-time job.
Yeah.
But that in the early days of Amazon, that's what people did.
Yeah.
You hire a kid out of college who doesn't know anything, and good luck. Go figure out Amazon. It seems cute, right?
You talked about the
do
technology of it. Is it if you went with a tech platform that's connected to the marketplaces, does it make your life easier?
Well, certainly on the advertising side, Teikametrics is one that's been there for a long time. Sky is one that's been connected to the Walmart ads, and they've built a lot of tech on top of their APIs. That's very helpful. So I would recommend that, because otherwise it's much more manual process in order to find impressions, get clicks, and get the conversions that you need. The audience is there.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it with PPC. It's harder to get it with PPC. Amazon's ability with their PPC to go find a big audience is much easier.
It's just more mature.
It is. It's more mature.
Way more mature.
That was one of my next questions. Of what I've heard in the past is like targeting on Walmart isn't as sophisticated. Like you can't go as far down into the audience and get really nitty gritty, and then the data you get back isn't as high quality. Is that still the case?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, but I would say not yet.
Yeah,
it's coming.
I'm
Every
more like
month they're
setting
doing releases.
expectations for people.
Right.
Like you're not going to get the Amazon data dump that you get if you go over here.
Yeah.
And in terms of sales, what percentage of sales can you expect, give or take, if you're doing a good job? He knows this. He's a pro.
No, I can't wait for it. I'm on the edge of my seat,
I feel
literally.
like I'm showing Scott a number down here.
What do you think the number is?
I don't know. It depends on category. It depends on whatever. Go ahead.
What percentage of your Amazon
So
sales,
this
if you're
is
a
what
big
it's always
Amazon
been.
seller?
This is what it's always been. God, Scott, grow some balls. 10%.
I'd say 5%.
I say 10.
Yeah, you guys are both right. It's somewhere between 5 and
one.
10.
It's 7.5.
Right.
I say 7.5.
I'm going with Summer because she scares me more than you do, Scotty. Frankly,
You're a smart man.
Thank you.
And she's right a lot more than I am.
She is. I have to give that to her. So yeah, it's 5 to 10%. That being said, if you have a product that takes off in the category and you get introduced into Walmart stores and you get placed on the shelf, that percentage could go up to 50, 60%.
What is that saying? Like, you're not lucky. It was just you were prepared. It was the right time. What's the luck favors the prepared?
Right. That's right.
And so being ready for it, that was one of my next follow-up questions. Do you have to be at Walmart retail, brick and mortar, in order to do .com?
You don't. But brands that are in retail and that move to the .com or to the marketplace do much better.
Yeah.
But one of the things that, the CEO of Walmart was at the trade show in San Francisco.
Doug McMillan.
Doug McMillan, thank you.
Dougie, I call him Dougie.
Dougie, you guys are tight. Dougie was on stage at the Walmart conference, which was a big thing. the CEO of Walmart,
Yeah.
this enormous company, getting in front of all these sellers, right? I don't think I've ever seen Jeff Bezos talk to us on the
He's
Amazon
done it
side.
now.
Maybe.
And maybe Jazzy, but I don't know about
Jassy
Bezos.
should. Maybe he shouldn't. I think they may throw things at him.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
No, he did because they
love you, Andy.
got 100,000 sellers last year.
Yeah.
They
Walmart
came to
did?
Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're- Go ahead.
Yeah, I forgot my train of thought because
No,
I
we
started thinking about
dabble.
Andy Jassy and I lost all reasonable.
I call him
rational thought.
Andrew. Again, we're tight.
Yeah, Dougie got out there and said one of the things I remembered now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He got out there and said one of the things that they're really valuing and understanding is that their customer base will pay for higher premium priced items.
What?
At Walmart?
Yes,
Huh.
at Walmart. There's a much higher demographic, especially online.
I was gonna say that has to be online.
Much more likely to be a higher demographic online than
Yeah.
sometimes in the stores.
And the key to that he talked about, well, he didn't really talk about this when I read, is their grocery. So they're gaining,
Right.
their demographic and their household income is growing because you have so many people and families that are ordering Walmart grocery because they're really good at it that don't go to Walmart. They don't go to Walmart. They don't buy things at Walmart. They're not intrinsic Walmart customers.
Mhm.
So they're leveraging that. And
it's
I
same
think
day
that's-
delivery. You
Yes,
can get organic
it's
stuff. You can
amazing.
Shows up at your door. It's
You can do
really
the buy
good.
online, pick up in store thing, which they've perfected.
Yep.
It's
Yeah. So I think the aha moment for Dougie, as you refer to him when you guys are hanging out at the pool, is that this marketplace is an eye opener for them on their store business.
Yeah.
They've adopted products that killed it online that were a much higher premium price point than one of their buyers would have considered to put on shelves before, and they're performing beautifully. There's forgive me, I can't remember the name of the brand, but there's like an ice chest. It's like a Yeti type ice chest.
Yeah.
Higher price point, premium. It actually works better than the Yeti ice chest.
Oh, hey now.
You have to be a
it really-
practical weightlifter to use the Yeti.
Yeah,
ice
right, yeah.
chest.
And this is an example that he gave on stage at the San Francisco conference last year was, we never would have considered putting this on the shelf, but it did so well online.
Yeah.
And the CEO of the company convinced them that your Walmart shoppers will buy this, and it's a top seller
Yeah.
at a higher price point than they ever would have imagined. So I think the marketplace is incredibly eye-opening. It is a must-have for retailers, in my opinion.
So at what point should a brand join it? I mean, if they're
Yesterday's not too soon,
perfect.
right
Love that answer.
away.
Yeah.
Right away. And especially for premium brands, I think premium brands need to be there, if for no other reason, to defend your brand on that platform.
Yeah.
If you don't, if you void the space, someone will fill it, and it's going to be bad.
I know we hear this all the time, but what's the
Yeah.
hardest part, Jason? It's putting $1 to that and
Yeah.
saying like, I'm going to hire someone to manage Walmart, and then look, they're defending us. But it's like, okay,
Sure.
like what are we actually saving in terms of money? Because I've seen top sellers on Amazon have terrible PDPs.
Yeah.
And that doesn't slow anything down.
Well, but what's the cost of having bad brand integrity on a platform
Yeah.
like as big
Yeah,
as
and
Walmart?
what's
right?
the
There's-
risk as putting just your time is the risk?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're talking to the finance person, right, at the company. They're going to want a number applied to
Yeah.
it. And I think that's a challenge.
If you have realistic expectations,
Yes.
we're dabbling in it with one of our brands because it's there, the candy brand, and it's been fun. We're learning a lot.
Yeah.
Right. But not only should you hire Av7 to manage it for you.
I
First
love
of
you,
all.
Scotty. Thank you for that.
Second of
shameless
all,
plug.
like old times, like the old days, you can actually get an account manager assigned to your account
Yep.
who actually will help you. And they have the greatest intent of brand control. They don't have that like brand registry. They're not there yet. They haven't figured out the sauce there, but they know it's important.
Right.
The other thing is you have major manufacturers who've been selling to Walmart 1P. And so now this whole product segmentation, because the 1P offer is going to win, just like on Amazon. It's
Yeah.
going to win every
And
time.
is it similar to Amazon where like you need to be like invited to be on 1P? Like how does
well,
it?
1P, yeah.
You do 1P, yes, but those 1P brands that have been selling to Walmart for years, they're not selling their entire catalog.
No,
to the
exactly.
Stores. What a great way to expand their SKU pipeline with Walmart to prove the product on .com, on the marketplace, and use that data when they're sitting in front of the buyer. Say, your .com shoppers are killing it.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring it onto the store and give me another SKU? Give me some more shelf space.
And you know what? I'm going to give you one more, Jason Boyce.
Do it.
Reason to go to Walmart. If you have e-com exclusive items, already going on your D2C, on Amazon, whatever, put it on Walmart.com.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a good deal.
That's
it's a
not
good
a
thing.
risk for price matching.
If you
I mean, the
control,
whole
again,
point of having
it is.
Well, no, you have an exclusive SKU. You want to participate in Prime Day with that SKU. Like that's the whole point of having an exclusive SKU.
Right.
But
So then do that
But then
level.
Walmart will match it, and then you're screwed for a month.
You're not screwed. Have a solid price integrity promotional plan across all platforms.
Right.
That's what you can't got to one up because you're right.
No, but I can Walmart will not raise the price back up.
No, nobody's going to raise the price back up. I'm saying if you do it carefully, I'm just saying we're having success with exclusive e-com. We control it at Dum Dums on Spangler. We control it. If you have controlled supply, whatever, we do have pricing issues. I'm not going to say we don't. Also, they're a unicorn. They don't go off price ever because they're gourmet in food.
Yeah.
So you should play with it. Test it. I'm in. Jason, I'm in.
Well,
Let's do it.
Yeah, that example
Start a
really
brand.
works.
Let's do it.
Does it work?
The one you gave about
They don't do sales.
right.
Yeah, they don't do promotions. Again, they're a unicorn and a bad example. You're right. Thank you, Brent.
But
Brent,
Apple's.
don't you have a podcast to host or something?
Bottom 5%.
But look at Apple, right?
Yeah.
You're never gonna find another sales channel that sells an Apple for less than they have complete
I know.
channel control, complete brand integrity. That's the gold standard, and that's what brands should do, in my opinion.
I know,
agree
it's hard
with
to
you.
do.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with you. It's like,
I
you
know.
agree with me, I'm agreeing with you.
I
What is
know.
happening?
It must
be the sunshine.
That's exactly right.
I don't like it. I want it to stop now.
So in the green room, we talked about
I did.
Target. How does Target fit into this?
See, this is why we have them here.
This is a great
Bring us
question.
back, Brent.
Great question. So we don't manage anything on Target right now. I would love to, but look at the quarterly reports coming out.
Tell me.
Look
I
at the
haven't
quarter-
looked.
Wait, hold on.
They're
Can we just,
terrible.
was
But
that?
the other thing, we talked about city versus rural.
Yeah.
And every city, everybody goes to Target, right? Then nobody despite there's not a Target in the.
Well, not in Portland anymore because they shut it down, but that's another story.
Target,
That's the other podcast.
I'm from Minneapolis originally.
Yeah.
And every 4
Oh, yeah.
miles
That's
is a
that's
Target.
their
That's their
headquarters.
headquarters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
I
well,
love Target.
yes,
But
and
any
there's
bigger
Starbucks
city's
on
not
every
gonna-
corner where I live.
Right.
I love
See,
Target.
Yeah.
Target
everybody
just-
loves Target,
I
but
don't.
nobody's like
I-
I go to their
I have
grocery store and
stopped.
I
their
know.
shelves are empty,
I
right?
know.
So what are
Why
they
did you
doing wrong?
stop?
Well, one, it was COVID.
Yep.
So COVID happened, and then I'm in a major city. My nearest Starbucks, my nearest Target is 18 minutes away. That's too far. I
Yeah.
will not drive that far. And where it is, there's nothing around there that
Yeah.
I want to also go shopping at.
Got it.
And then I used to buy really cute things for home, really fun water bottles for the kids. And I don't know who's doing their buying. I'm just not impressed with it. And maybe it's changed
That's
in the last
the
year or
problem.
two.
Yeah.
I don't like what's there anymore.
Yeah.
So I see Nordstrom and Target have a very similar problem. It's their merchandising. It's
Yeah.
their merchants. They're not buying the right stuff.
Yeah.
They're,
And they
you
had
know?
a good run where they were doing these exclusives and they were
Yeah.
they hung their hat on a more curated selection. We're the better, cooler, sexier
Yes.
Walmart.
Yeah.
And they've lost it.
Yeah.
And I think when you come from that perspective, before they've lost that magic, what they would not think about, they have a marketplace. It's invite only. I don't know if they've opened that
Yeah.
up yet.
They're just so that was the other big
But they
difference,
should.
right? They had a curated selection. What
Yeah.
you sold in the store was not exactly what it was. The only
Yeah.
thing that sold online was sold in store. They did
Yeah.
not expand your
Got it.
assortment for
Got it.
online. Now they've kind of opened it up and they've changed retail media networks. I'm looking at his Criteo badge because they were
Yeah.
Criteo, then they were this, then they were that.
Right.
I mean, that's also
Yeah.
part of the sauce.
So I think this is very opinionated, and I'll probably get some
No,
hate. I'll get some
Jason,
hate on X.
Ever since
for
I
this
met
comment.
you, you've never been opinionated.
Yeah, right. That's why you keep having me back. You get these buyers and they think they know everything about everything, and they need to let that go.
Yeah.
They need to let that buyer's narcissism go. Let the market decide. Let the market decide.
Yeah, they agree.
Yeah.
They agree. I love it. I'm getting
Chase-
applause from the peanut gallery.
Honest e-commerce
This
is
amazing.
all over this.
They need to let that go and let the market decide what products,
Yeah.
like Dougie did, right? Doug McMillan's like, this marketplace is not only helping me online, helping our technology, it's helping me in the stores.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so that's the miss that they had. I think that their new leadership is trying to reconnect here, but they're way behind.
Yeah, they were
Tell
Tell me
ahead.
about their quarterly earnings.
Not good. I think it was a miss. I don't have it in front of me, but it was generally a disappointing report.
Yeah.
And I read it and thought, well, that makes sense because they're not all in. They're not letting the market decide. There's 1 billion plus products listed on Amazon.
Wow.
And the algorithms decide and the
Right.
customers decide
Right.
which
Well, yeah, and the ad money.
decide. You're right.
Yeah, and
That's fair. That's fair. But if the product doesn't perform, the ads aren't going to help you.
Right. You don't get served. You can
Yeah.
spend a lot of money, but you're not going to get served unless you're selling a conversion and all the other stuff.
Yeah. And so I don't know, a Target Superstore maybe has 200,000 SKUs.
Yeah.
And they're trying to take that plan that worked really well from them a long time ago and apply it to a marketplace, but that's not how marketplace works.
Can we also talk about targets as a consumer? This is completely off subject.
Wait,
but
this is a plan?
Ties back to your merchandising. Their back to school is always the time I will go to Target, right?
Okay.
I will let my kids pick out their backpack. We'll get their little binders. We'll get their pencils. Every time I go for the last multiple years, they're sold out.
Oh.
They have like 3 lunch boxes.
Yeah, they're sold out a lot.
And
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
what is I hear
cardinal
from it,
sin.
And then they have this big giant sign, back to school. I'm like, for who?
Yeah. Cardinal sin. I got to tell you, I live in Portland. And so I have friends that work at Adidas and work at Nike.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, why the fuck can't I buy my daughter's soccer cleats on your website? You're always out of stock.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's fashion. This is what we do.
Fast fashion. We bring it in, bring it out.
We have these runs and then
Yeah.
we run out and it's like, too bad.
Well,
Yeah.
also,
Screw you.
well, I know that
You're losing revenue
I
every
understand
single
that.
day, right?
She got real aggressive on me.
Dude, it's too early for
Go
that.
back to
I
your turtle
apologize. I apologize, Scotty.
No, I don't disagree. Again, I agree with
It's
you.
the coffee Brent gave me. It's
I
starting
think
to kick in.
It is, but I mean, so that's a footwear. Like their lead times for the reason those runs, they're making those decisions 18 months or sometimes
Yeah,
more
yeah.
about when that run is going to deliver. You know what? When they're out, they're out.
Yeah.
I think they need to make a decision between fashion and utility.
I agree.
You're
Yeah.
talking about having cleats for soccer. It's
Yeah.
not fashion, it's utility.
Oh,
And
Brent,
when you do your
it is
next
fashion. Let me tell you, my
Wow.
boys have had bright pink, bright purple, like they want.
That's
it's
true.
neon. It is absolutely. You are making a personality for yourself when you're wearing these cleats.
You are what you buy.
That's true.
because
Yeah.
you're in the same uniform as everybody else. So if you want to stand out, you stand out with your cleats.
You're 100% right, but I would argue that these soccer players aren't able to do that because they can't freaking stay in stock. Do better. Figure out your
No, this
inventory.
is-
And they're evergreen lines,
Well,
right?
okay,
That you
this
can
is-
change happy to glad on
Yeah.
and have them available all the time.
I know
Right.
this is a Walmart discussion, but this
Yeah.
is, and I believe Walmart has the best chance. I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to close the gap because the gap is just so
It's
massive.
going to take a long
But
time.
I'm rooting them on because what you're talking about, Summer, it's people want to buy what they want to buy wherever they are.
Yeah.
And if you make
Yeah.
it the easiest to get it and they have it, they win.
Yeah.
And guess what? In 2024, they're winning
Yes.
Well,
at,
what
at
we're-
an alarming rate.
what we're seeing with our data is that when you participate in program or tentpole events like a Prime Day, it rises all ships.
Yes.
We see
Yes.
it. We see Walmart. We see Target. So back to your point, like if you're not on Walmart, you're missing this huge opportunity to have this
100%.
nice lift. So your money's going further. And they were talking about it in one of the keynotes yesterday. And I've heard this, but I feel like I'm just hearing it more and more of a full brand ROAS, right? So
Yeah.
what did we spend, and then
Yeah.
what were our total sales instead of just like siloing? No sadness over here.
So another
Silos equals
quick
that.
antidote for you. You
Yeah.
know, last time I was on your guys' episode, we were talking
Oh,
about
were you on
the
this show
excitement. Once or twice.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites.
You're actually long-term.
It's my
You're-
favorite.
I think it's like your 4th time.
Is
We
it?
gotta rewrite the
You
contract.
guys have done it without me, so I think
That
you've
is
been
true.
on one.
No, usually I text Jason, hey, got 10 minutes? In 10 minutes? Let's go.
I'm like,
Yeah.
let's go. Yeah. But quick antidote, we got a brand that's running CTV ads on Amazon. And we did
Wait, for those who don't know, what's
Connected.
CTV?
Connected TV, streaming TV ads on the Prime platform. What a lot of people don't realize is if you're doing TV ads on the Prime platform, you're literally on every streaming channel. There's over 100 streaming channels now in that Prime app. Anyway, we're running TV ads for this brand. They also are on Walmart, and they're doing about 10% on Walmart of what they're doing
Yeah.
on Amazon. So Summer's rubbing that in. You're
Oh
welcome,
my
Summer.
God.
7.5.
So we run 1 week of this TV ad, and all of a sudden their revenue on Walmart climbs 20 to 30%.
Wow.
And we're like, okay, what did you guys do to
Right.
the PPC ads
Yeah.
to get this great result? And they're like, we've done nothing. It's the same strategy we've had all month. The only, through a process of elimination, the only thing we changed, we ran TV ads on Prime. And so it's to your point, right? Wherever you are, is a rising tide for wherever else you sell.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. Yeah.
Any other big Walmart things? It's nostalgic for us.
Yeah.
For me, if you've been around the Amazon space for a long time and you're one original vendor,
Yep.
Because working on Walmart, it's like it gives me a little charm. It's just like nostalgic. You have to download reports. It's just they don't have all these dashboards and stuff. Like to do the listing optimization, you have to do all this stuff like you used to have to do.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can actually talk to somebody is also nostalgic.
And they're so kind. I mean, I used to sell.
They're nice.
Yeah, they're very
really
kind.
nice.
They really care about your business.
Yeah.
And I remember though, I mean, that's not to say that Amazon employees don't. Most Amazon employees we do care deeply.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that. But like, it's very refreshing to your point to be able to speak to humans over there to help solve a problem.
It is.
And they listen and they learn and they're adapting quickly.
They can't really fix much, but it feels better.
Yeah. I'll give you another tidbit.
I mean, they can. I'm just joking.
I'm going to agree with you one more time on something
No
you've said
way.
100 times.
Stop.
I know it's going to piss Summer off, but
Is it going to start with a P?
you and I have always talked about this. Always talked about this. Walmart has their own DSP platform now for owned and operated placements on their website. You have to use Trade Desk to do off Walmart DSP. I suspect that contract is going to end soon, and Walmart will have DSP for not only owned and operated but also off. They bought Vizio recently.
Yeah.
It's not just about TVs; it's about the TV operating system. And you've said this a million times, Scott. The future of Super Bowl rights are going to go to Amazon and Walmart.
Oh my God, did you see my little deck I'm doing later today?
No.
It's all about sport.
I listen to you, unlike most people. I remember things you
Thank
say.
you, Jason. You're kind.
I feel like you guys got together before the pod and decided to truce.
We're just so old. We're on the same wavelength.
No, I'm in the fact that I believe that content is the key, and that's my concern with Walmart is they're behind on content, owned content, so you have a licensed content, because that's how you're getting people's attention. That's how they suck you in.
Yeah.
I mean, the Prime thing is literally an old Costco game. They got it from Costco. Buy the membership, and then we suck you into 47,000 different services and everything else.
Yeah.
So that's my worry about Walmart, because if you look at content, advertising, and logistics, advertising, they grew $1 billion from 23 to 24. They're making strides. I think to 4.2 billion.
Yeah.
Logistics, to your point, they're there. They're the only closest competitor that can match it.
Yeah.
They just don't own enough content, and I think they probably will.
Doug's biggest challenge is convincing.
Dougie.
Sorry, thank you, Brent.
I call him
Dougie's
DM sometimes. We chat on the text just for efficiency.
When you guys are having a scotch by the pool.
Yeah.
I love it. So Dougie's biggest challenge is convincing his investor group to stop taking dividends and reinvest every single profit dollar into technology.
Well, that gets down to a root thing.
Yep.
It's a retailer competing with a tech company.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're behaving like a retailer.
Yeah.
They need to. And I think he's
Take the
making
Amazon
good
model.
strides in that area. I think he will convince them. They had a great quarter.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, knocked it out of the park quarter. So I think that will come over time.
But still, Amazon's growing at about 11%. Walmart's growing at about
Faster.
5%.
No, faster. I mean, they're growing in terms of their marketplace. It's growing
The
much
marketplace is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
22%. Yes. I'm saying overall, their earnings, right, in 2024, they grew about 5% of gross margin merchandise value.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nobody's got more pom-poms and megaphones rooting for freaking Walmart. God.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Well, and I feel like for anyone young listening to this, in their 20s, if you knew Amazon in your 20s, it set you up for a career for life. This is an opportunity to get to really know Walmart.
Great point.
And set you up to have a career for life, because those who knew it from the beginning and the inception, they can help manipulate and figure out how to have you have success on the channel.
Totally agree. Look, Walmart's sexier than it's ever been. It's not your mom and dad's Walmart.
Hey now.
Yeah.
It's getting cool.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
I like it. I like my Walmart Plus account.
They do have a good little
You get a free
graph, by the
account too
way.
with your
Right.
American
Yeah.
Express card.
I will say my one rub with them, which I do go to Walmart's when I'm in middle of nowhere for a hockey tournament and I need to get some stuff. It's always dirty.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not a clean
It's not a very
store.
yeah. It's still not a good experience.
No,
when
it's
you
all
have to-
concrete,
At least
gray, and there's like dirt all over
Yeah,
the
the
floor.
the shelves are stocked.
They are.
Like you go into Target and it's very clean.
Yeah.
With no stock.
yeah.
Yeah, pick which one do you want?
I love
Can I ask? Whoa. Can I ask about Temu?
Well, we're getting up on time, but
Oh.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah, let's talk.
Yeah,
We
so
can do
like
5 minutes
September,
on
Temu was the big thing, right? Or it was going to be the big thing, and now is it?
It is the big thing.
Yeah.
Temu, TikTok Shop, Meta Shop, all those guys, Shein, they're growing at the fastest rate of any marketplace or any retailer in the United States. Like, that's it.
and it's a Ponzi scheme.
It's complete Ponzi scheme, I'm sure. But so back to,
Yeah.
I just want the soccer cleats. I just need this stuff. I'm telling you, they gamify it and they make it easy. And
And
sometimes
if you
you'll
can
be,
wait a month to get it.
no,
you'll get
not
it.
anymore.
Well, some-
That's changing. There's
still-
certain things.
Yeah.
But if I paid $5 for a bed and it actually is a lot nicer than I thought it was,
I mean, you just have lice for a week and then you're good.
it's like, yeah, okay.
Don't worry about those bed bugs.
We had Philip Jackson, Future Commerce, was talking last night. He admitted that he bought patio furniture, pool furniture on Temu, and you know what? He's like, it's really good,
Really?
and it was like a third of the cost.
Yeah, he spent $2,000 and if he priced it out at home, it was going to be $18,000.
Wow.
And
That's a fancy patio.
Well,
Wow.
it kind of got me thinking because he has one of those big giant arm umbrellas, you know.
The
they're huge.
cantilever,
And those
big,
are like I'm always looking for those, and they're
Yeah.
like $2,000.
Yeah.
And he was like, it was $200.
Whoa.
Wow.
and it's pretty good. He was super impressed by the quality.
So 200 probably came direct from China.
Probably.
And it, at least for today, it's under the de minimis rule, $800 or less. That rule I'm convinced is going away.
Yeah, but they
It's
don't
just-
have
I
it's
don't
got
enough.
a
know
pause.
this rule, Jason. Tell me.
Oh,
Yeah,
the de minimis rule.
so Temu and Shein were built on this de minimis rule, which allows goods shipped from China into the United States to avoid tariffs if the value
And
is
duties.
less, and duties if it's less than $800.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Trump's going to kill it. He killed it, and then it overwhelmed the Customs Department. He
Yeah,
had a pause
yeah,
on it. It's coming back.
We don't have enough border
No.
inspectors. Like, not even close. We can't even actually do what we're inspecting over $800.
Yeah.
So we don't have the labor force. And
Yeah.
then anyway, but yeah, so that's a big deal. But I think Temu and Shein are so big now that they've got a bunch of warehouses in the United
do.
States. They're actually they're serving me huge, like physically humongous products, like RV carports and shit.
I know, but their website also, it reminds me of walking into a Walmart. It just seems dirty and messy and unorganized.
It's 90% off every day, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got to
Yeah.
play like a Wheel
Well,
of
the
Fortune
website
game
was
to
made
get
in
in.
1985.
You know, I think-
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the key point here is you're not the demographic for that app, right?
I mean,
and
come on, now.
Scott,
Hey, now.
all of
Scott is
the
sick burn.
Summer makes too much money. She likes stuff a certain way.
Hey, we don't call her Bougie Jubileer for nothing.
I make no apologies. I worked very hard to get here.
We call her Summer Full Funnel Bougie Jubileer. That's her new name.
You know, my question is,
It used to be marketing spend Jubileer, but now we've moved to full funnel.
Okay.
if you think back to the early days of Amazon, the young people were the first ones to adopt it. They
Yeah.
were the early adopters.
It was college books.
It was college books. And then it moved to electronics, and then it moved to everything.
Right.
And so I suspect that when the money stops coming into the Ponzi scheme, they're not going to survive. I could
Oh,
be
really?
totally wrong. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, but
Right?
at least you're making a prediction.
Are they too big
that's
to
my
fail?
prediction. No,
I don't think they're too big to
they
fail.
will fail
Yeah.
fabulously. The
Mhm.
question is, can they continue to evolve as their user base grows
Yeah.
and gets older and have kids
Yeah,
and have
I-
different needs and become a summer?
It's
That's
if
the
you-
question.
if
I,
you look-
I don't think so.
It's astonishing the rapid rate of their market share. It's
Yeah.
astonishing.
Yeah.
In this
If
very
you could
short period
burn
of time.
billions of dollars of cash and just set it on fire
They
to
should do a
keep
Super
warm
Bowl
like
commercial.
they do, you could
Yeah.
do
Wait,
it
you
too.
don't do that at Have Seth?
No, I don't. Dale Dabbs doesn't let us, our president.
Okay.
They don't let me touch the money at Av7 because I'm like, yeah, spend.
Oh yeah.
I'm not the right guy for that.
You got Summer.
I got a good control.
Summer will spend. Okay.
I've always spent. Give me a budget. I've never found a budget I couldn't spend through.
Jason, thanks for coming on, man. It's great to see you here at eTail. How do you
So
like the
good to
show?
see you.
This is my first time at eTail.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me a little bit of is the old Internet Retailer Conference back in the day
Yeah.
in Chicago.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
IRC.
IRC.
IRCE turned into rice.
And then it
And they made it
died.
noodles. And this
they
year's
were
going to be
wet
ramen.
noodles.
Is it? Well, ramen's on fire.
They were terrible wet noodles too. I can't go to that show anymore.
It's a horrible
merged,
show.
You know what they merged it with? They merged it with Retail
X.
X.
Retail X.
Yeah, Retail X. And I'd go into the hall.
Yeah.
I'm an e-commerce guy, and I'm looking at how to buy hangers for my
Right.
brick and mortar store. I'm like, that's not a good mix. Anyway, it reminds me of the way IRC was in the old days.
It's
and
good.
I'll be back. I like
It's
it.
good vibes, doesn't it?
It does. It's good vibes, and I think I'm
Come
looking
here for the
forward to
cooler weather.
I'm looking forward to your sessions.
Yeah, what time are you on?
2:30.
All right.
I'll be there. Heckling.
When you hear this, the reviews will be in. You know what? There's just good vibes here, and there's good people. Why, Summer?
Because people matter. And
You know
you,
listening? Oh, go.
and you are listening to Always
Awesome.
Brand. Please like, please subscribe, please share.
Bye-bye.
Hey there, this is Haley from Quickfire, and they want me to read this so you know what this podcast is part of and how to find out more if you want. Always Off Brand is a production of Quickfire LLC and a part of the Learn and Laugh series on the Quickfire Podcast Network. For more information, go to quickfirenow.com. Have a good one, and thanks for listening.